Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show. Real talk, big opinions, and fearless conversations. From the front lines of politics to the latest in pop culture. From breaking sports headlines to the stories that move the world. Nothing's off limits, and nobody's holding back. Arrington Gavin is here to break it down, build it up, and keep it all the way real. So turn it up, lean in, and let's get into it. This is the Arrington Gavin Show.
What is happening on family? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Welcome to another great episode of the Arrington Gavin Show, your go-to spot for sharp insights, bold opinions, and unfiltered takes on the biggest stories of the day. Whether it's politics, sports, pop culture, or the latest buzz, look, we're diving deep and keeping it real. So please do me a favor, kick back, stay informed, and get ready to join the conversation. Look, on today's conversation, we're going to talk a lot of things happening in our world. I'm talking, we have reality shows that are in the works. That's an idea coming from your DHS Secretary, Department of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem. We have, what else do we have going on here? We have possibly a potential ban on pornography. We have TMZ sharing some news about Justin Bieber that we didn't expect. We have, what else do we have? We have an investigation of former FBI director. We have a lot of things happening right now, and hopefully we can tap it in on the show within this hour. Again, y'all, thank you so much for taking the time out your busy schedule again to take out 1 hour of your time to tune to the Arrington Gavin Show. Shout out to all those who support us from all platforms by way of the radio airwaves. Shout out to our listeners in the New Orleans area. Listen to us right now on WBOK 1230 AM. What New Orleans is talking about, you can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show Monday through Fridays at 7 p.m. Central Time. Very honored and excited to be a part of that amazing station. Also, shout out to those who are listening to us in the Metro Atlanta area by way of WDJY 99.1 FM Straight Talk. You can tune into the program Monday through Fridays at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then also shout out to those who stream us through YouTube, Rumble, as well as on Goatverse TV. Goatverse TV, if you haven't downloaded the app, please do so today. It's available in the App Store, Google Play Store, Roku, as well as Amazon Fire. It's an amazing app filled with so many great content like yours truly up there. It's a great platform. And you can also tune into the Arrington Gavin Show wherever you listen to your podcast, Spotify, iHeart, you name it, Odyssey, Apple, wherever you get your podcasts, you can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show. So again, thank you. Hope you all are having a wonderful evening. Today, I am just I've had a jam-packed day out. Let me just tell you right now, I had a jam-packed day. Supported two of my friends that happen to be serve as local elected officials. My friend Councilman Les Smith, he serves for the city of Chesapeake in the state of Virginia. He had an amazing prayer breakfast that he does on an annual basis, and so I always make sure to stop by and support and always just have a great time fellowshipping with folks within the community. Then I had to zip on to the other side because another buddy of mine who serves as a city councilman for the city of Virginia Beach, District 7, Councilman Calvern Jackson Green, he has partnered with NBA great Joe Smith. We all know Joe Smith, 16 years in the NBA, former number one pick in the 1995 NBA draft. He was holding a community day in his hometown He has been doing some great stuff. He recently was inducted in the Virginia Sports Hall of Fame, just doing awesome things in the community. I hope to have him on for an exclusive here on the Arrington Gavin show, because he's doing so much. He's rebranding himself. He's growing his career. We all know, if you're not too familiar with Joe Smith's story, Joe Smith was a gentleman. Again, I told you, played 16 years in the NBA, number one pick in the 1995 draft, made all the money. I think I'm gonna just say a ballpark around $60 million in his career in the NBA. And because he didn't have the right folks, work surrounding him, not taking good care of his finances, he lost a lot of that wealth. And so I think he was on a show with Alex Rodriguez, where Alex Rodriguez, former Major League baseball player and World Series champ, Alex Rodriguez, entrepreneur, and I think part owner of the Sacramento Kings now, or Minnesota Timberwolves. Excuse me, probably I think it's the Minnesota Timberwolves. He's on the show basically helping out folks get back their finance, get back in the right state where they need to be. And let me tell you something, Joe Smith is one of the most humble individuals I've ever met. I had the opportunity to speak with him at his event, and like I said, I hope to have him on the show because he's doing so many great things. Has a reading program in his home area, a basketball academy now, and he's also teaching financial literacy to a lot of up and coming pro athletes, because it's very important when it comes to those who are coming from lower income communities, and now the next day you're a multi-millionaire. You don't know what to do with all that wealth, and it's all about having the right people work around you too. So had a great time, and hopefully have them on very soon here on the show. But yeah, my friends, been busy doing a lot of stuff, and just always excited to talk with you all here and to follow you all up with stuff happening in our world. Look, we gonna talk tariffs because that's is still very much in existence. Kid Rock apparently closes a restaurant to avoid ICE's raids that was happening on the weekend, which to me is it's crazy. I feel like someone definitely told him about that. We're gonna talk about a lot here on the Arrington Gavin show. So how about this? We're gonna start first with a fun fact. And then we're gonna do a Black Excellence report. Then we're going to head to a commercial break. How's that sound? That sounds pretty good for y'all. All right. Well, look, let's start off with a fun fact here. Let's see. What do we have today? Did you guys know? Speaking of basketball, professional basketball, did y'all know Wilt Chamberlain is the only player in the NBA to score 100 points in a single game? A game that he scored 100 points. This game happened March 2nd of 1962. And yes, to answer your question, that record has not been broken yet, nor do I think it will ever be broken. During those times, Wilt Chamberlain was a beast. There was not a lot of players at his height, at his strength, and he scored 100 points. 100 points. He was the only person scoring. I'm curious to see. Matter of fact, let me see. They probably won't have it, but I'm curious to see what was the final score of that game for at least him to score 100 points. Did anybody else with the team score? I don't know. But that was just a quick fun fact for all you sports fans out there, for all you basketball fans out there. Yes, there's only been one person to score 100 points. I remember when MJ scored 64 points or 67 points. That was crazy. Or think about the late great Kobe Bryant's last game. His last NBA game, I think he scored 60 points. I mean, it was just a lot of stuff was happening during those times. But that was our fun fact. Let's move it on to our Black Excellence report. And I think this is a wonderful Black Excellence report I want to share with you. So recently, the first Black mayor was elected in the city of Omaha in Nebraska. Let me see if I can. Let's see. Trying to find it. Let me go ahead and find it for you all to show put a face for those who are watching. For those who are listening, I apologize, but don't worry. I'll mention the gentleman's name shortly. His name was, here we go, John Ewing Jr. Okay, John Ewing. I don't know why I say Hewing. Is Ewing like Patrick Ewing? I literally said Hewing. John Ewing Jr. recently was elected as the first black mayor for in Omaha, Nebraska. I'll be honest, I ain't know there's a lot of black people in Nebraska. I did Nebraska. Look, I've spoken with friends of mine and shared, like, I encounter a lot of folks that says, hey, look, my goal is to visit all 50 states in the United States. My sister and nephew are two of them. They've done it. I think they've got, either they have or they're very, very close to visiting all 50 states. I'll have to shoot her a call and see. But on my like list of things that I want to do, on my bucket list of things, there's places I want to visit, but there's also places that I most likely don't want to, like Wyoming, for example, Montana, Nebraska. Like there's just states that, and they're not on my list to visit. Like, obviously everybody would love to visit Florida. You have Disney World, you have the weather, the beaches, yada yada yada. My wife has been to more, I think, more states than me. She's been to, Vermont's very small. If you love Ben and Jerry's like me, that would be something. Oh, I wouldn't mind going to, check out, or Oregon, or Washington State, Kentucky, because I love my Kentucky bourbon. Okay, Tennessee because of the whiskey. I go to things for specific reasons, but I mean, Montana, I guess, was a place just because, hey, my favorite show was Yellowstone, which supposedly took place in Montana. But there's just certain states I'm like, I never want to visit. So I say all that to say Nebraska. I didn't know Nebraska had black people. So it says here, John Ewing Jr. recently made history defeating longtime incumbent John Stothert to become Omaha, Nebraska's first black mayor. The heated race focused on local issues like infrastructure and housing, while also reflecting national political tensions. Despite GOP's criticism, many local leaders, including Congressman Don Bacon and the Greater Omaha Chamber, congratulated Ewing and expressed optimism about working together for the city's future. That's something that I'm also catching, is national political issues really take a toll on local races and local elections. So I speak a lot on the show the importance of local and understanding and having a knowledge of what happens in your own backyard, regardless of which city you're in, which state you're in. You need to know what's happening in your local government, knowing who serves, from the city treasurer to commissioner to school board to council. You have got to know who serves and read their backgrounds, read their before, what have they done since being in office, or if they're new, where they come, what background are they coming from, what are their intentions for you. A lot of people will say, well, I just focus on the national. No, it's best to know what's happening in your local, but national does have an impact on the state and local level. Obviously it helped out in this race here, but this goes on everywhere, especially if you are a local official that's or you're thinking about running and you say, hey, look, I stand with the president, I stand with this, I stand with that. That can be tough. That can be extremely tough, my friends. Um, but it's important. At the end of the day, it's important. Look, we're gonna take a quick commercial break. Please don't go anywhere. We have a lot more show for you here on the Arrington Gavin Show. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after these commercial breaks.
Jazarin Learning Institute, LLC, is a hybrid learning center that strives to educate adults and children in all fields. During the day, we offer programs that are focused on developing students from pre-K to 12th grade, which includes tutoring, homeschool co-op, an after-school program, SAT, ACT prep, and many more engaging academic programs. Our adult education programs include workforce trainings, GED prep, life coaching, various seminars, and many more. Our vision is to train and educate in a positive way that will lead to a positive change in the world, one person at a time. For more information, visit us online at JazarenLearningInstitute.com or call us at 757-208-7407.
Let me tell you something that most people get wrong about suits. A suit isn't just about you wearing it. It's how you show the world who you are. It's your handshake before you say a word, your presence when you step into any room. That's why we design statements at Dapper Luke. We don't just make suits. We'll start with the fabrics that tell your story, luxurious wools, silk, linen, and blends sourced from the finest mills in Italy, the UK, and India. Then we'll combine that with your vision, your personality, and your style. Every detail is tailored to you, from the fit to the finish. Whether for your wedding, a gala, the boardroom, we specialize in creating custom suits that are unique, just like the men who wear them. We spent years perfecting this craft, apprenticing under designers in New York and showcasing collections in New York and for Baltimore Fashion Week. None of that matters as much as seeing the look on your face when you try on your custom suit. Over 900 clients have already trusted us to deliver the best custom suits. They trust me to deliver the confidence. We proudly serve Virginia Beach and Baltimore and would be honored to bring your vision to life next. Let's create something unforgettable. Book your free consultation today at www.dapperluke.com.
All right, my friends, welcome back to the Arrington Gavin Show. Let's get it going with our first show on the chopping block here. TMZ shares that Justin Bieber, very famous, I guess, pop star. I didn't mean to say the reason why I said I guess because at first I'm like, well, did he do R&B? Because I know like he was founded by an R&B star, but superstar. I'll just say global superstar, international superstar Justin Bieber. You know him, you love him. Keep him in your prayers for one, because, and I'm no like overly like, oh, I love Justin Bieber, oh, he's awesome, I love, but I, as a kid, I remember when he was like up and coming. I remember when he became this, this sensation, right? When I was in high school, all the maybe even middle school. No, I'll say high school, maybe like June, like freshman, sophomore year, all the girls started talking about Bieber, this, Bieber. I'm like, what was this guy? And then you see the growth, you hear about his story, how he was found and all that good stuff. An extremely talented individual. But he had been recently, just like every rising pop star, you have your, your struggles, right? You know, whether if it's with the law, doing this, doing that, like you learn from those, and then you continue to grow and just do good things. But TMZ recently shared they have a new documentary they have coming out and examines the cascading problems of the pop superstar Justin Bieber, who reportedly had to sell his music catalog to avoid a financial collapse. Wow. This guy, I don't even think he's not 40 yet. I mean, he's close to my age. He might be slightly older, maybe in his, I know he's in his early 30s at least. But it says here, as crazy as it sounds, this is reported by News Nation, as crazy as it sounds, Justin Bieber, who made up to $1 billion in his career, you hear me, in his career, said in 2022 he was broke. So broke, they were told that he borrowed one of his friend's credit cards to play golf. TMZ executive producer Harvey Levin told Banfield recently he was broke. Levin said Bieber's financial peril stems from abandoning a tour 3 years ago and owing millions to sponsors for pulling the plug. In addition, he said Bieber has gone through mental health struggles and rough patches in his marriage with Hailey Bieber. Did not know that. Hailey Bieber is the niece of Alec Baldwin, daughter, I believe, of Stephen Baldwin, actor Stephen Baldwin. She made a career for, not just being a Baldwin, but, famous model. Said here, Levin said here his marriage has had real issues over the last few years, and we kind of get into that. I think they all are in a really good place now. But we're told that Haley at one point told her mom, "I can't do this anymore." Um, TMZ documentary also reveals that Bieber and his former music manager Scooter Braun hit a breaking point in their relationship after Bieber's Justice World Tour, which ended abruptly. Later that year, Bieber was diagnosed with Ramsay Hunt syndrome. Scooter's camp has told us that he just thinks Bieber wanted to go home. TMZ executive producer Don Nash said he was tired. He wanted to spend more time with his wife. He wanted to go on vacation, and he wanted to live his life without going on tour. According to US Weekly, it says here that sources told TMZ that Bieber was set up for failure from the start of the tour. The tour promoter AEG also alleged paid him a $40 million advance to play his biggest hits. By the way, if Justin had finished the tour, he would have made $90 million. Now, one thing I will say, just watching different stories or hearing about different stories with these pop stars, these tours are extremely lucrative, right? But tours nowadays, it all depends. Like these major superstars, they do these tours where they're almost touring for damn near 2 years. I mean, they tour look at Beyonce, look at Taylor Swift. I feel like they've been touring forever and never stopped. There's some people that enjoy doing it. There's some people who realize it takes a lot out of you when you go to country, state to state, this to that, city to city. It takes a lot out of you. And again, Bieber is not an old guy. It's so sad, with his illness that he was diagnosed with, Ramsay Hunt syndrome. Like one side of his face was like numb, and he could not move. Like, it's just, you have got it's when it comes to rest, y'all. When it comes to taking care of your mental health, when it comes to just literally sitting back, if you know exactly when you're doing too much, your body will let you know, regardless of the money. Now, the sad thing is, when you have contracts and you have commitments, sometimes you're obligated. You have to stick with those commitments. If you don't, you got to pay a crap ton of cash to pay off, those who you screwed. Sorry to use that language, but you cannot sign contracts, make these promises, saying you're going to do this and do that, and then all of a sudden, like, no, I'm just exhausted. I can't do it. I don't think I'm going to be ready. I don't think I'm going to be capable to really give my fans the real Justin Bieber, that one that they always want. I want to make sure I'm 110%. So again, this new documentary coming out, it will share a lot from when Justin canceled the tour. Angie said he owed us $24 million. Justin's like, I don't have that money. I don't have the money. And Scooter's company said, look, we'll assume this debt and pay it off for you. Levin also said Bieber had signed a note stating he would repay the $24 million to Brian over the following 10 years. He makes one payment, and this is where the conflict starts. We're told from Scooter's side that Justin's people called and said he doesn't have the money anymore, and he's never paid another payment. They're saying here Justin Bieber was accused of being in debt before. It's a lot happening with this, but check out the documentary produced by TMZ. I believe it's going to be like on Tubi. They usually have a lot of their documentaries on that. But again, that's why I start off by saying, y'all, we got to keep Justin Bieber in our prayers. I don't know the guy personally, but I don't wish this stuff on folks that, in my opinion, has never done any harm to the public, to his fans. He's always been a pretty sincere individual, in my opinion. He's spoken about his faith, how he had to really come back and realize, look, I've done a lot of bad things, but if it wasn't for the big guy upstairs for looking after me, I would not have probably made it as further as I expected. So, we just got to keep folks uplifted and keep it moving. So, wish him all the great things. Hopefully he hits the stage pretty soon and you just don't want to hear him in the news for other reasons. We want to hear more positive stuff. We're all about team positivity here at the Arrington Gavin Show. Let me go ahead and move it on to another story that came across my feed. Let's see here. Let's go on into some politics. Well, let me talk about this BS here. So, DHS Secretary Kristi Noem, former South Dakota governor, Kristi Noem, she's over here basically touting hey, let's go ahead and possibly how about we do a reality show? How about we do a reality show about immigrants, huh? And whoever wins gets to stay in the U.S. Whoever loses, they leave. They gotta go. And to me, it's just disgusting. Basically, competing for citizenship. So you all know your president was a reality star before he was considered presidential, right? He's, to me, still a reality show nut, in my opinion. But let me share you this soundbite real quick, and then we'll talk on the other end.
Reports that say Noem's department is considering the idea of participating in a reality television show where migrants compete for citizenship. I can't even believe we are talking about this. The proposal to have migrants compete for citizenship on a reality television show. And what does this say? You tell me whether this is unserious, demonstrates the unseriousness of this administration.
Well, a few things. First, during this Trump administration, this Republican administration, it seems like every day we lose more and more of our humanity. And the second part is that President Trump installed the least qualified, most incompetent cabinet, perhaps in American history, certainly in a century. And that's why we're getting such bad policies out of these folks. And, the idea that you would do a reality show to have people compete for citizenship, it's just a sick idea. And if Kristi Noem really wants to go to Hollywood, then she should quit the cabinet and pitch a show to Hollywood and leave. But to take this kind of sick idea there really is just unserious and unbecoming of a cabinet secretary.
No. Congressman Castro, what's sick, what's even more sick is the fact that these mofos have a producer that's already like, oh no, they're serious. They are dead serious about this idea of having a reality show about citizenship. Okay, so first of all, the congressman is right. This administration has probably the most unqualified individuals in the administration ever, and he's not lying. That's not me being freaking biased because I'm just not a Trump fan. That's the God honest truth, y'all. He has hired 23 Fox News personalities that, check this out, in their related field before Fox, they haven't been there. They haven't done anything like freaking Janine Shapiro. Yeah, she was a former prosecutor. That was like decades ago. She is a TV personality, a Trump loyalist, first class. Let me watch what I'm about to say before that. I had to stop myself there. You got Pete Hegseth, who doesn't know what the hell he's doing. You got Sean Duffy, that, in my opinion, is probably, I'll say, qualified for a position. He's a former congressman, I believe. He's held an elected position. So, okay, boom. I'll give you some props on that. But Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, oh my, give me a flipping break. Like, these are folks that RFK Jr., who I will give credit. I feel like RFK's heart is in the right place. That's just me personally. I really feel like, and I want to think that his heart's in the right place. But at this level, I think he's being more of an opportunist because you start off as a Democrat. You left the Democratic Party, went as an independent. Now you gave up on your race to say, look, I want to endorse Trump. And I like what it. In my opinion, if you really want to protect the environment, or do you want to protect American democracy, RFK Jr., for you to endorse Trump, to me, says a lot right then and there. You got Tulsi Gabbard, another opportunist. She got her feelings hurt because she wasn't didn't take it far and did get the support from the Democrats when she ran for office. Okay, post that, she just became a Democratic basher throughout her career, and see, that's became lucrative for her, and now she's a Republican. Shocker, shocker. I mean, it really, it just, and then going back to Kristi Noem, I mean, she's the queen of photo ops. I mean, let's just be honest, she's just there for the photos, for the publicity, to get on TV all the time. What is she even doing besides like nothing? Okay, she's not doing anything. She's not doing anything. And what kills me is the fact we have a freaking president, y'all, that is choosing to receive lavish gifts from foreign leaders. He's going to Qatar. What was he even in Qatar for? Do we even know? We don't. Shocker. Shocker. Like, all he's doing is receiving financial gain through all this. Let's be honest. The meme coin. Come on, y'all. I mean, a lot of these foreign leaders that he's receiving gifts with, he wants to do business with them. His family literally gained $2 billion. I've spoken about it on the show before. They have received $2 billion. Let me backtrack my notes here. They have received yes, it says here Justin's son and a $2 billion investment from a firm associated with the Abu Dhabi government. The cryptocurrency venture, yeah, founded in 2024. Company received substantial investments from foreign entities, including $30 million investment from Chinese billionaire Justin's son and a $2 billion investment from a firm associated with the Abu Dhabi government. This is the bull crap that I'm talking about when it comes to corruption in front of our eyes, nothing being said, nothing being done, because guess what? Oh, he in charge now. He doesn't care. That's why Trump does not care what he says. He's not doing anything. He's not doing anything for this country besides raising up prices, wrongfully deporting folks. That's what he's doing. That's what he focuses on. Let me play the soundbite. So, former Duck Dynasty producer to make immigrants compete for citizenship. This guy's already, and he also was a producer for The Biggest Loser. So he was recently talking with Caitlin Collins of CNN. Let me go ahead and share this soundbite for you all.
How seriously do you think the Department of Homeland Security is taking your pitch?
I think they're taking it seriously. I feel good about it. I'm not the Department of Homeland Security, so I can't tell you the whirlwind of the last 24 to 48 hours since my pitch document was leaked to somebody in the press. I don't know where they stand exactly now, but I feel like we're trending in a good way. And I have interest from networks. I have interest from production companies to pair with, and I feel good about it.
I know you said this isn't Hunger Games, but if someone is watching and thinks making this a game show is trivializing this, what would you say to them?
I'm really happy you're asking me that question. I was on the first iteration of The Biggest Loser. I was not a senior member. I was just a story producer on it, but I was there. And when The Biggest Loser was announced, there was vitriol coming from the press.
How seriously do you think the Department of Homeland Security is taking your pitch?
So, okay, so he mentioned The Biggest Loser. So if y'all can't recall, The Biggest Loser was a popular show, was on, many seasons, and it was about folks who were obese that was competing to lose weight. Every time they, if one team lost a certain amount, they'll be up. Like they competed. It's body challenges. We all do them, right? When it comes to certain diets, certain fasts, this and any other, we always do it. And yes, the name was, quote unquote offensive. Probably when they first started, The Biggest Loser. Why are they called losers? The Biggest Loser. But obviously, once you watched it, lost all the weight. I got it. The Biggest Loser, seeing who lost the most. Whoever lost the most wins the competition. I get it. But this is different, bro. Well, how is this? How is this cool? People competing for citizenship. I mean, to me, that's disgusting. It really, and like she brought up the Hunger Games, a movie that does have some relatabilities of what is going on here in our country. It's disgusting. It's sad. It's sick. Okay. And it's a headache. It is a huge headache. Some more credits from this guy. And then I'll play one more clip for you all. In regards to this story, then we're gonna head to a commercial break. Dating naked millionaire matchmaker, Duck Dynasty, as I mentioned earlier. But this was interesting. So Jillian Michaels, former coach on The Biggest Loser, was guest hosting on, because she's in the world of podcasting, and she's been sharing her take on politics now. She's that unfiltered, like she's starting to open up an avenue in the world of politics. So she recently had guest hosted on Balance, that's on CNN, that's on News Nation, and she welcomed in co-host of Young Turks, Anna Kasparian, on when they were discussing, and they were talking about this U.S. citizenship reality show thing happening. So let me go ahead and share you their thoughts of their conversation, just a little bit of their what they thought about this idea of a potential reality show catered around citizenship.
Well, speaking of circuses, I've got one for you. Okay, the Department of Homeland Security just confirmed. I can't even believe I'm saying this, Anna. They just confirmed they're in the early stages of vetting a potential reality show that would have immigrants competing for a fast track to citizenship. Producer Rob Wersoff, the mind behind Duck Dynasty, and God help me, apparently he also worked on the first season of The Biggest Loser, because I needed that to be attached to my resume. He approached the department about the idea, okay? And here's what he had to say.
I worked on the first season of The Biggest Loser, and when that show was announced, people recoiled in horror at the idea of fat shaming and calling fat people losers. And then people saw the show and said, oh, of course, this is this amazing, wonderful, kind show. That's exactly what we're doing here. It's The Biggest Loser for immigration.
Dear God, I can't imagine anything more mortifying for me than what this man just said. But regardless, does this sound like creative outreach, or is it just degrading theater?
It's definitely degrading, and it's interesting because he had said previously, oh, this isn't like the Hunger Games, which was hilarious because he knew everyone would think this is just like the Hunger Games. We're talking about whatever you might think about immigration policy and what's happened at the border during the Biden administration. Put that aside and acknowledge the fact that at the end of the day, we're talking about human beings. These are human beings.
You hear me? Human beings. She's absolutely right. Human beings we're talking about, y'all. Where's this world coming to? Where's this world coming to? I'm curious. Y'all, all I can say is we need prayer. We need prayer. We need prayer. That's all I can say in that case. Look, we are going to let's hit to a commercial break, and when we come back, we'll have a lot more show here for you here on the Arrington Gavin Show. Please do not go anywhere. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to
And we still in traffic.
I don't look familiar, do I? Not in this seat.
Hey, what's that you listening to?
Here to host today.
Hey, turn it up.
With me?
Yeah, this that new Goldverse app. I got you.
So y'all want to know where the goats are? They're off on the sidelines.
Looking for fresh, relevant content wherever you go?
What was the name of that he said?
Introducing GoatVerse TV.
GoatVerse, that's what it's called.
The free streaming app that brings you the best podcasts, current events, and thought-provoking opinions all in one place. Download it now from the Apple Store or Play Store. In Goats, we trust.
Order your beard care products with Rugged Evolution. We're your local beard care line that supports the maintenance of your full, mature beard. Our line includes conditioning shampoos, moisturizers, balms, oils, shaving lotions, and exfoliating soaps. These products moisturize, hydrate, nourish, and have all the natural ingredients for a healthy beard. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. And remember,
Rugged is the new smooth.
What is dedication?
The thing that drives me every day as a dad is Dariana. We call him Day Day for short. Every day he's hungry for something, whether it's attention, affection, knowledge. And there's this huge responsibility in making sure that when he's no longer under my wing, that he's a good person. I want him to be able to sit back one day and go, we worked together, we did a good job.
That's dedication. Find out more at fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
All right, my friends, welcome back to the show. Welcome back. All right, let's get it going with our next story here. So former FBI Director James Comey under investigation for a post recently seen as a potential threat to Trump's life. Let me read you this reported by NBC News. Several Trump allies accuse former FBI Director Comey let's see here. Allies accuse Comey of calling for Trump's assassination is now in a now deleted post. He has denied it. He's denied it was meant as a threat. All right, so let me go ahead and share. Let's read it first, and then I have I'll share a clip right here. Says here that the Department of Homeland Security and a Secret Service are investigating a social media post by former FBI Director James Comey that several U.S. officials interpret as calling for the assassination of President Trump's. Homeland Security, Kristi Noem recently had said in a now deleted post on Instagram, Comey shared a photo of what he described as a shell formation. Comey shared a photo on a beach that formed the numbers 8647. The post was swiftly condemned by administration officials, Republican lawmakers, and Trump's allies, who said it blatantly targeted Trump, the 47th president of the United States. Now, according on the Merriam-Webster dictionary, the number 86 can informally mean to get rid of. Now, disgraced former FBI Director James Comey just called for assassination of POTUS Trump. This is from Kristi Noem, Secretary of Homeland Security's, what she wrote on X. DHS and Secret Service is investigating the threat and will respond appropriately. Says here that a spokesperson for the Secret Service, which is part of DHS, said that the agency vigorously investigates anything that can be taken as a potential threat against our protectees. We are aware of the social media posts by the former FBI director, and we take rhetoric like this very seriously. Beyond that, he said, we do not comment on protective intelligence matters. Anthony, not too far, can't pronounce that last name. The agent's chief of communications said recently in a statement. Now, Taylor Budowick, a White House deputy chief of staff, accused Comey of putting out what he clearly be interpreted as a hit on the sitting president of the United States. Now, he said in his post, this is deeply concerning to all of us and being taken very seriously. Now, the president's eldest son, Don Jr., accused Comey of casually calling for my dad to be murdered. This is coming from the son of Donald Trump Jr. He posted on X or probably True Social. Comey denied that this post was meant as a threat, saying that it, in a statement, that he was unaware people linked the specific numeric arrangement with violence. Comey said, I didn't realize, excuse me, I did not realize some folks associated it with violence. That didn't occur to me when I saw it, but I am opposed to violence in all circumstances, so I took it down. Comey later said in a post on Instagram that he assumed the numbers were a political message. Now, the 86 wording has been used, and this is very true, that it has been used in a political context before, including by Trump's one-time attorney general pick Matt Gaetz, who used the expression last year in a post naming Republicans he sparred with in the past. Representative Tim Burchett, Republican out of Tennessee, called for Comey to be arrested, while Chris LaCivita, Trump's former campaign manager, said he would have had Comey home raided over the post. FBI Director Kash Patel said the Bureau is prepared to provide all necessary support to the Secret Service, which holds primary jurisdiction over the investigation. Representative Angie Olds, another Republican out of Tennessee, called for an intimate joint investigation into Comey's post in a letter sent out to Patel and Secret Service Director Sean Curran. Now, just to kind of give you a little background about James Comey, he was only 4 years into a 10-year term when Trump fired him in May of 2017. Now, under Comey, the FBI opened an investigation into allegations that members of the Trump's 2016 campaign had contacted with Russia entities. Trump fired Comey months after the investigation was made public, and hinted that the probe was among the factors that led to Comey's termination. Now, to me, it seems like Trump just fired him because he's like, wait a minute, I hired your ass and you're going to investigate me? You're going to investigate me? Like, I mean, doesn't that sound kind of what was the reason behind Comey being fired? That's just me when I read this. Now, the primary motive of his dismissal, the White House said at the time, was a conclusion by the senior Justice Department officials that Comey bungled an investigation into 2016 Democratic presidential nominee Hillary Clinton used for the private email server when she was Secretary of State. Now, the 2024 presidential campaign saw 2 assassination attempts, which we did. We saw the one where it grazed the ear of the sitting president. Then I believe it was one when he was at the Mar-a-Lago. Let's see here. What was this? Okay, hold on. First one was in Pennsylvania, and then Secret Service fatally shot the months later, the Secret Service foiled a second assassination attempt at Trump's golf course, yes, near his Mar-a-Lago residence. So we have seen violent acts being taken against the sitting president. That is true. That is true. And I can understand them taking everything they can seriously, because it's not like this didn't happen before. Now, Comey has drawn the ire of both parties in recent years. Democrats derided his decision to publicly announce days before the 2016 election that an investigation into Clinton's use of emails had been reopened. Now, a lot of folks are saying that right there really affected her chances on winning the presidential race. Then former Secretary of State herself asserted in 2017 that the announcement aided Trump's victory, which, hey, that's basically what I just said. Now, after his termination, Comey became a frequent critic of Trump, calling him in a television interview morally unfit to be president, and later characterized him as an unethical man, untethered to truth, in a book he released in 2018 that also likened his administration to a mafia organization. This guy seems like a person, in my opinion, that was stern on his job. He was strict on his job. Look, I'm going to investigate the Democrats. I'm going to investigate something that I see wrong in our own administration. You hired me to be FBI director, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to investigate. I can't show favoritism to any side, because FBI director should be a bipartisan position, a non-political position. But sadly, it's not. the current FBI director, is a huge Trump loyalist, a far right wing conspiracy theorist, in my opinion, and that's just one of many people that is in this new administration. Says here that the former FBI director is now a fiction writer. He's promoting the release of a new novel with numerous posts about the book on his Instagram account. So let me share. See if I have any time here. Let me share this soundbite. Let me share this soundbite with you all. This is from the BBC, just talking about this. What I basically just read, but they're sharing you some added information that I think wasn't shared in this reporting from NBC News. So this is from the BBC. Let me show you the soundbite.
The Trump administration claims this picture of shells on a beach is a death threat against the president. But why? Former FBI Director James Comey, it spells out 8647. Those 4 digits have become a rallying cry against the president. The 47 stands for Donald Trump, who's the 47th president of the US. 6 is slang that goes a long way back, according to the Merriam-Webster dictionary. In the 1930s, it was a term used in a restaurant to indicate an item on the menu had run out. Over time, it came to mean shut out or rejected. Eventually, it was also used to mean kill. This appears to be why Trump's son posted the photo saying, James Comey casually calling for my dad to be murdered. The head of US Homeland Security claims the post was an assassination threat, and she's directed the Secret Service to open an investigation. But it wasn't long ago that 8646 was used as a call to impeach or remove Joe Biden and appeared on merchandise like this t-shirt. Former FBI Director Comey and Trump have had an adversarial relationship over the years.
So let me pause that right there. So if y'all didn't hear that clearly, they said not too long ago 8646 was used as to basically saying to use as another word for impeach. So there was clothing, there was t-shirts made about impeaching Joe Biden on literally on Amazon. Like that was on there. They showed it right here. So it looks like it's been used for so many different things. Now again, do I think personally that I can't speak, well, I just say I can't speak for Comey. He's in a bad place in general. He doesn't have any friends on either side of the aisle. But I could see why that the Trump administration is taken seriously. As I mentioned before, it was 2 attempts against his life that was documented. So hey, the investigation is ongoing. We will continue to share more about it here on the program. In the last few minutes of the show, I do want to share just a little bit in regards to terrorists, because recently Walmart CEO had shared that they were going to be adjusting prices due to terrorist related costs, and that's coming from the words of the CEO of Walmart, Doug McClennan. Now the sad thing is the sad thing is we thought that the tariffs was going to be done. So we thought we were finished with these tariffs. We thought we were or at least it was in a good direction, because markets were showing that, okay, if the markets are looking stock markets, if the stock markets are looking pretty decent, that means the tariffs should be good, right? We should somewhat see some light at the end of the tunnel, right? No, it's continuing to get worse, y'all. It's continuing to get worse. We're seeing costs of grocery prices, going up. We see programs being taken away, not being funded, because they're doing this whole government efficiency Doge crap, and it's just not benefiting anybody. But yet we see a president that is loving life, accepting lavish gifts, $400 million planes, by the way, which is funny because he thinks there's nothing wrong with the $400 million plane. But did you know that if he does accept that, they have to basically demolish the whole thing to make it F1 Air Force One efficient, which will cost, wait for it, close to $1 billion of American taxpayers' dollars. Okay, so a gift to this guy is going to take more money out of our pocket to benefit his own personal gain? I think not. And it's funny because there's so many folks on the right that is criticizing Trump, but guess what? Trump don't give a damn what they have to say. He does not care what they have to say. You know why? Because it's all about him. He's a team of himself, and he can care less of hearing criticism even within his own party. Because first of all, we see basically we're seeing a shift happening in both political aisles, right? We have divisiveness happening in the Democratic Party amongst progressives and the establishment and moderate Democrats. You see the divisiveness happening from the old school Republicans to and MAGA. It's a gap. It's conflicts happening there. But this reported by Script News says here that the CEO explains that although they strive to keep prices low, rising tariffs will lead to inevitable consumer prices increases. So, and this is crazy. I mean, my wife loves Walmart. So if I tell her that they're going to raise the prices in Walmart, let me tell you something. She will not be a happy camper. Says here that they are preparing to raise prices on items, saying it is not able to absorb all the costs associated with the tariffs implemented by President Donald Trump. Now, McLennan, CEO of Walmart, indicated that Walmart began experiencing increased costs in late April due to tariffs. Now, with those costs substantially increasing in the first 2 weeks of May, he said consumers could notice price increases on a broad range of items, even after President Trump reduces tariffs rate he imposed on China from 145% to 30%. All this joker was doing was just wasting folks' time and money and just making it a whole back and forth like a bunch of children. Him and China. The CEO recently said, "I want to thank President Trump and Secretary Benson for the progress made recently. We're hopeful that it leads to a longer-term agreement between the U.S. and China that would result in even lower tariffs. We would do our best to keep our prices as low as possible, but given the magnitude of the tariffs, even at the reduced levels announced recently, we aren't able to absorb all pressures given the reality of narrowing retail margins." Said here, CEO says company has been buying more domestic products in recent years, but a shift to relying on U.S. made goods would take time and resources. Now, currently, the U.S. has imposed a 10% tariffs on most imported goods, a 25% duty on aluminum and steel products. In addition to the 30% tax on Chinese goods, those tariffs are charged to companies importing the items. Many companies, including Walmart, said some of those costs will be passed on to consumers. Y'all, I mean, it keeps getting worse and worse and worse. It really does. It keeps getting worse and worse and worse. We will continue to follow up with what's happening with these tariffs. We want to continue to keep you guys afloat and aware of what's occurring in our world. But what I can say, y'all, just spend wisely. Make sure you get your essentials. Work hard. Save. Keeping those who happen to be federal workers in my prayers, because I hear from time to time, left and right, folks that are losing their jobs. And it's sad. It's extremely sad. But y'all, it looks like my time is coming up short, man. But please continue to tune into the Arrington Gavin Show. I'm available on all streaming platforms and podcast platforms. You know how to tune into the show. I'll check on y'all next time for another great episode of the Arrington Gavin Show. Peace and blessings. I'm out.
That's it for tonight on the Arrington Gavin Show. Thanks for tapping in and keeping the conversation alive. Don't forget, stay connected with us on all platforms. Follow at Arrington Gavin on Instagram, Blue Sky, and X, and subscribe to the official Substack for exclusive takes and deep dives you won't get anywhere else. We're here every weeknight, same time, same energy, same real talk. Until next time, stay bold, stay sharp, and stay true. That's what we do on the Arrington Gavin Show. Peace.